So hello guys, today in this section we will see some more application of wide area measurement system. In the previous lecture we have seen 2 or 3 of the applications of wide area measurement system. So continuing the application of wide area measurement system, in this case we will see the supervision of backup zones. What happen is we know that overreaching in case of distance relay, that means a relay has actuated beyond its limit. That means in ideal case distance relay will operate when the impedance seen by the relay lies within its zone. But in this case of overreaching the relay, there is a mal-operation of the relay and it will actuated or operated beyond its limit. So how does wide area measurement system helps? We will look at in this case. So now overreaching zones of distance relay covers a large area and are explained. Now this exposes them to inadvertent tripping when a fault is present on the system. In particular, zone 3 trips due to the load excursion or due to the stability swings, and these are the non-contributors to the loss of security in the power systems. Now various schemes to restrict the exposure to the zone of protection to such phenomena. For example, using lens-shaped characteristics does not reduce the likelihood of unwanted trippings due to these overreaching effect. Now the fact remains that the power factors can become very unusual during the major disturbances due to unusual flow of active and reactive powers. Now as these phenomena are likely to occur when the power system is stressed and in danger of cascading into a blackout, it is appropriate to consider remedial actions which can be implemented using wide area measurement systems. Now zone 2 and zone 3 of distance relay are both overreaching zones. Now zone 3 is traditionally recognized as one of the most difficult siting to be made because of the need of adequate security. Now on the other hand, there are scenarios of contingencies when zone 3 is deemed essential for dependable clearing operation following a fault. It is necessary to investigate the ways in which overreaching zones could be supervised by the techniques which can use this concept of wide area measurement. Now the phasor measurement units located at the neighboring buses offers an excellent tools for supervising the operation of overreaching zones in order to avoid inappropriate operations during the condition of system stress. Now consider the relay located at the bus identified by B in this figure. Now consider this figure. Now the relay is located at bus B. Now if an overreaching zone of relay A picks up, then the PMUs at all the B locations can curate to determine if the apparent impedance seen by them represent a fault in direct zone of any of those relay. If none of them seen such a fault, then clearly the pickup of an overreaching zone at A is due to something other than a fault and it should be blocked. Note that this action is to be taken only for balance condition at A and B locations. Since load encroachment or stability swings imply balance operating condition, the distance from which measurement are to be obtained are modest so that the communication delay can be insignificant. So this is how supervision of backup zones takes place with the help of this wide area measurement system. Now another utility or application of this is intelligent load shedding. Now under frequency, load shedding and restoration is used in most of the power system. Now occasionally load shedding under supervisory control has also been exercised as a part of remedial action scheme that we will see in our next lecture. Now it is clear that under frequency load shedding does not operate unless the power system breaks into islands creating load generation imbalances, and there is an overall decay of system frequency in generating the deficient islands, Now in many cases this action is too late, particularly if the islands are created in unexpected configuration. Now it would be desirable to active load shedding under supervisory control when significant load of generation or load takes place, although no islands are formed and frequency does not begin its decline. Now what to do in this case? In this case, a possible approach to determine loss of generation in a network is determined the deviation of tie line power flows del T from their scheduled values. Now this is traditionally measured as an element of area control error ACE, which is equals to del T minus B into del F. The other element of area control error is del F, which is deviation in system frequency, and B, the system average system load frequency characteristic group. Of course, until the tie line are opened, the frequency deviation is 0, and tie line flow deviations alone signifies the generation shortfall. Now the shortfall can be used to determine or estimate the amount of load to be shed. Now this later need to match exactly the tie line flow deviations. Now other factors to consider in such a scheme are inertial response of generators to inertial disturbances. Ultimately, the goal of such a scheme is to make appropriate adjustment to the system loads in order to avoid more serious consequences in the future, such as system wide blackout. So this is how it works.